on the Mendocino coast in California. While we're all waiting around, we're going to give ourselves, 2 or 3 more minutes. It's about 1 minute past the hour here where I'm sitting. So that could be 8 o'clock in New York. If you're in New York, it's 5 o'clock in California. And I have no idea what a time it is in Europe or on the other side of the planet. I guess if you're in Bangkok, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I know that one for some strange, odd reason. No, it's because I live there. So, but there you go, right? This is in Germany. There you go. It's 2 a.m. for him, but he's agreed to present to us what he's built. We also have George Macy here, or is it Massey? I apologize,
Massey.
George. George
Massey.
Massey here.
Yeah, like
Who are going to
Massey.
be our presenters today. Would love to know. I love seeing familiar faces. I love seeing Jody as a Detenda. Seen several. Daniel or Ari's here. And so let us know where you guys are coming from. Oh, it's 12 p.m. in New Zealand from Becky. Nice. This is a global audience that I love talking to. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. But we'll get this kicked off here in a few seconds. Heidi from Washington State. We got Jody is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tatenda in Fort McMurray, Canada. Gonna have to put that one on the map there. Excellent. All right, well, let's get started so we give our presenters as the most time possible. Just want to remind everybody, I know that you saw it coming in as you open up your Zoom or as you entered into the room, but we are going to record this because we want to be able to share it with the rest of our community. So just make sure that you're aware of that as we get things started here. But this is our third showcase, and the last two showcases have been a lot of fun, and they've been very interesting. They've been very informative. I think everybody's learned a little something. I know I have. And one of the things I really love the most about it is that you start to see all of the different angles that people approach teaching and learning, because we're all using Xperiencify for a different purpose. And that could be growing a business, that could be informing a community, that could be working one-on-one with clients. There's just so many different ways to use Xperiencify. And it's fun that these showcases are able to give us insight into those things. And so hopefully we'll be able to take away more of those today as we learn from our two presenters today. We're starting to see if you're new. I just saw a couple more people come in there to the room. Please tell us where you're coming in from in the world, just so that we can see. We've got Rhode Island there from Flan. Nice, thank you very much. I love Maggie. I love that you just said you're from a small town in Illinois. That's fantastic. Right on. I'm sitting in Mexico City, Mexico. I believe Brenda's also sitting in Mexico, unless she's remote working from somewhere else today. Who knows? And that's wonderful. If you are here and this is your first time in our showcase, or if you're here and this is the first time sort of interacting with our community, a couple of different things I want to make sure that you're aware of before we get started. First of all is our Quick Start course. We have a couple of options to get started in Xperiencify quickly. Brenda, who's here on the call today, is our onboarding and training specialist. She takes you through those courses. They are live courses. So it's, when you sign up for so many of these software as a services, right? You click OK on your, signing up for an account, and then it's like, hey, here's the videos that you can watch to get up and running on that service. We've actually taken the decision to provide some live training so that you can have real human interaction, get your questions answered immediately, and again, start to build that community, understand that other people who are working with you to message out to the world. Our Quick Start courses are available for both our expiring mini course, which is a little bit more advanced. And I only say it's a little bit more advanced because there's more bells and whistles. There's more experiences to add. There's more actions to do, and there's more things to click in order to get an expiring mini course done. But we've recently just added the workshop course as well. And this is a really great entry point for someone who is new to Xperiencify and is also new to the world of creating learning and being a creator. And so it's a really nice landing place. And so if those are things that you would be interested in, they're totally free. It's a service that we offer to our community. Reach out to Brenda, or Brenda could put more information in there and in the chat in the Zoom.
Is it just
And
me or
you can learn more about that. I have spoken with and
he's
listened
breaking
to
up?
hundreds of people in our community.
There. Steven, you're
Am I
cutting out
breaking
a
up?
little bit. Yeah.
Am I back?
Yes.
So disappointing. So disappointing. Okay, well, I'm going to survive. I'm going to ask you to survive with me through the glitch for this first part here, and then I'm going to switch my internet connection so that I can make sure that it stays that way. But just a couple more things to mention. One are our done for you packages. And what we have heard over at least since I've been with the with Xperiencify over the last 10 months is that people love to be creators. People love to come in and tweak and build and create the courses that they want to see in the world. But there's also a lot of people who aren't interested in learning a new technology platform, and they're not interested in figuring out how to connect something to their, their CRM system, et cetera, et cetera. And so we've built a bunch of done for you packages that allow you to simply create the material that needs to be created in terms of the training and the outline, et cetera. And then we build it all for you. So we'll build the course, we'll put the experiences together, we'll make sure the celebrations work, we'll tweak, the wording and whatnot so that it fits on the page. We'll customize the pages that you need for your courses, and it's all done for one flat fee. So I encourage you to come over and check out those done for you packages as well, and we'll be sharing a link for that as well. The last piece that I want to talk about here before we get things started is how to get support beyond these types of forums and using support at Xperiencify.com. And that's our offer. And they vary between days and they vary in different hours to make sure that we accommodate everyone's time zones and everyone's availability in their jobs. So come over to the office hours and you can get your answers, get good answers to your questions essentially instantly. Either Brenda or I are on those calls. Most of the time it's Brenda, but sometimes I'm on those calls as well. And we can either answer your question right on the spot, or we can find a way to follow up with you immediately to figure out what it is that you need in order to get your course online, get it published, and get it out there. All right. That said, we're now 10 minutes in, so let's get started with our showcase. Just a couple of reminders. If you're interested in presenting and you're interested in actually being a presenter in the showcase, write to me, Steven plus showcase at Xperiencify.com, and we'll put you on the list to become a part of the showcase. And we're like as we did last time, we'll have two presenters. We have Ritus and we have George here tonight who are going to present for us. They're going to show off one of their courses, and they're going to take us through us. We're going to have them actually, tell us about what kind of successes they've had, if there's any challenges, etc. And then the only rule that we have here is that, well, there's two rules actually. One, first, no haters, no negative comments or anything like that. You can ask, challenging questions, and you can ask, hey, how did you do that? Or why did you choose to do that? But other than that, please only give kudos and feedback that's constructive for everyone. And then this isn't a forum to ask support questions. This is in replacement of our usual office hours for today. So we're not going to be doing any help or support here today, but we can absolutely do. If that is all good with everybody, let's get started. I'm just going to randomly choose Ritus because he's been so good and he's awake at 2 a.m. to be our first presenter. Ritus, why don't you go ahead and share your screen and take us away?
Okay. Let me just select the correct home screen. Okay. So, hey, I'm Ritus, and this is my course. Like the high-level summary is, it's for people that struggle with anxiety, that have issues with fears, and I just show them how they can, instead of trying to run away from their fears, they can learn to wake up from that. Because there's the whole thing about having a little bit of an illusion when we are in fear. So this is like the key thing that I teach. And actually, it was just filmed during the live event last year. We just made a very, very good recording. And I created a course out of that and just cut into pieces, added extra materials, bonuses, and stuff. And for this, we went with the target audience, which is probably very weird to some people, is that my target audience was in Australia, even though I live in Germany. But for me, Australia was like a perfect direction to go because their evening hours are my morning hours. So it's very convenient. If I want to expand and do like live courses and stuff, then I can have my usual hours and not work evenings, which I did for like 10 years or so. And my family would like to see me way more. So when people come here, they can, of course, see some info that they need to see, and the goals and the direction for the course. The objective is just to actually help them to get over that and have more freedom. So reasons why the positive mindset is not enough to deal with fear, distinctions between being driven by fear, being inspired. So all of this is just for them to get really, really interested. And yeah, what you might see, what you might notice is not Xperiencify. And I'll tell you at the end how I used all that, because that was the technical thing. And not everyone will be interested in that. But it was interesting challenge to tackle for me because I really had my own branding and everything, and I wanted to implement all that. So if I go to the Xperiencify from the student's perspective, I don't know, you say relevant pages. Okay, so that's like when the student logs in.
How to awaken from the grip of.
I'm sorry? Oh, it's what's Barbara?
Sorry, we
Okay,
just had
got it.
somebody who wasn't on mute.
Yeah. I realized that. Okay, good. So once the student logs in, if you wish, I'll at the end I'll show you the whole process because it was technical thing. But when people join into the course, they go to this Xperiencify, as I hope all of you already love. I felt like a kid in a candy store when I started playing with it, because I was watching Xperiencify grow for the last like few years, but I could not find a good reason to use it because most of my audience was in Lithuanian. So, and the multilingual support and stuff was not there for a while. So now, but then I did this English thing and I'm like, oh my God, now I can play with it. So when people join, they have these actions that they can take. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong page. That's the course page. Yeah.
And Rytis, was the first page that you were
Right.
showing us, was that a landing page on your website?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the landing page on my website. Yes, that's the sales page.
And did you make the choice to, because we have many people who ask us the question around, should I use Xperiencify just as my landing page or my website, or should I use my business website? What was your choice to do it that way in the way?
Mostly it was because I have this like whole design style and things that are made like by brand book, and I wasn't able to implement everything that I wanted exactly the way I want it with Xperiencify Page Builder. And so I went with WordPress for the web page because I know it, and I have my Lithuanian website running on it. So it was like a platform I know and I've used for like a decade or so. And then I figured out how to connect the two so that they integrate. And after people purchase, like through the API calls and everything, the requests go to Xperiencify and new account is created there. And I even had a custom like module that I programmed for myself to actually do that, so that on the thank you page, the student gets this really nice button which says join the course now, which uses Xperiencify magic links and allows them to go straight to their Xperiencify account and just see the content that I'm showing you. Like, I'm sorry, not like this. They come here, right? And they see the first celebration and everything.
Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's like the main thing. When the student joins for the first time, I use several of those, like I don't know how you call them, but it's like the main page action block where you can add some custom blocks, some custom actions that are not connected to a particular lesson, but more to the course. So they can
Usually we call them
add my
either
emails and
lesson pre-work, or basically what we're doing is we call it priming, right? We're priming our learners to get used to clicking on actions and taking action. And we're starting to get that dopamine happening for them to say, oh wow, when I take an action, I get a response and I'm earning points. You're already earning points before you've even entered the lesson. So that's why we encourage people to put actions on their welcome page, so that you're already getting that learner in the mode of engaging and interacting with your lesson. Thanks.
Exactly. I love this idea, and I just used it for my course. And so, yeah, so I did that. Let's see from the other side, that was in templates. And if we go into the preview mode here, I'm sorry, let's move this Zoom toolbar out of my view. It should have been this one. So yes, that's what a new user sees. It's add me to allow list, and with instructions how to do that, join the community and introduce yourself. So, and then what I did for this course, even though it is not an expiring course, because I love your idea of expiring mini courses, but I added an extra hook for them, an extra carrot for them to take action. I created a mission that if they complete the training in the next 14 days, they can get on a live Q&A with me, which happens once a month. And then I hooked up all the experience engine and set it up in a way that there's the countdown and things happening here at the top, right? And so this countdown is not for them losing access because they bought it, but it's for this, if they finish it, if they complete the main content and go through the core modules, then they can get into that Zoom thing. And what happens here is that I hid this bonus live Q&A. I made it locked, and only people who complete it on time, they get access to this module. So I love the experience engine in order to do all that. And what you can see was created was just like the main lecture module with 4 pieces of content. And then there's few meditations where people can integrate what they learn. And I also had recorded extra bonus content on people how to how to see it more in action through one-on-one sessions with people where I guide them through their fears and stuff. So it's all was laid out using just modules and content. So now if we go inside, okay, and also, yeah, I did this, I borrowed this idea from your expiring mini course, that after people complete the course, this block, the yellow block, is not visible for a student unless they complete the course. then I just offered them to schedule a discovery call with me, because it's just an intro thing for me. Yes. So what else? The content. Let's go here. I have a workbook, and so yeah, I use the buttons for workbook. I always love uploading audio versions of everything I do, because me myself, I listen to a lot of audio over the years. So that's what I do for the people. And you can see the screenshot from the live thing that I used here. Okay, then every training has 2, 3, usually 3 actions for me. It's one is the simple one, always about watching the video. The second one is about taking notes, and I write like some prompts for them. What was the most important thing? Write down and stuff, so that they actually take action on those things. And then there's also sharing the insights in the forum. So I love the forum, and actually I don't like Facebook groups for my courses, because I had that experience in the past where like people ask question and no one sees that for 3 days. When you have like 40 or 50 people, if you have thousands of people, someone is always there interacting, but it just, things would go missing. And I really wanted it to be like closed and local. So I created the forum and used it, and I just linked to the forum basically from the actions always. There's always a link posting in our community forum. And when they do that, they can take the points, and I encourage them to interact. So then there's these different topics, groups, however they are called in the forum. And so I made a different topic for every lesson. For part 1, for meditation, for every step, I just created another one, so that people would give their feedback and share their ideas. And of course, they introduce themselves, why they're here, how they found it, whatever was here. So yeah, I used all of the available things that I could to keep it more engaging. Okay, let's go. And like, I remember when I talked with Steven in the, however you call it, the onboarding or whatever call we had, and I was just giddy out of excitement with all these technical things. So maybe not all of you are, but what I've done is this content and modules, very simple, very straightforward thing. Module 1, 2, 3, put everything here. Didn't go with different pages for bonuses, but just put everything here. But I did this one, the extra reward. I made it, leave it locked. Oh, it's dragging. So yeah, so I made the release timing for it to leave locked, so that I can unlock it using an experience. And so that's where the magic actually happens. If you've never done it, it's like, and you're not technical, you might be like, oh my God, but it's not that hard. So these are the experiences that I run for my course to do everything. So if we look at this leave locked thing, it's when user completes the course. Let's see what happens. I change the tags. I borrowed everything from just looking at the skeleton of EMC course, actually, that you provide, the whole idea on how to do it. And then there's this action that is run here. Let me see exactly where. So if you go into the experiences, the first thing that happens, user joins, right? They get the welcome email. And then I assign them a tag that they're not complete. And then I wait in here for a while till there's 3 days left to remind them, look, there's 3 days left to complete your mission to get on a Q&A with me. Then I wait for 2 more days and I say 24 hours before you lose your ability to join with Q&A. And you can see that there was only 6 sent. There's a bit more numbers here because there was a lot of testing on my part and a lot of test accounts. And then there's 6 hours left and I remind them again. And if they did not complete it on time, I assign them a tag, no bonus. Okay, no bonus. So those that get assigned a tag that they have a bonus, they get this experience unlocked. Others don't. And also what I used the experiences for was to remind people to just keep them engaged through email. So like after 2 days, when they join the course, I send them an email with some content, which is called How Do I Do It? And there's just some, I actually also used an inspiration from your templates, which were awesome because I'm not good from the blank page and the templates were amazing to just edit them. So then another email, and there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 emails in a span of like 7 days, I think. I send them 4 emails with just random engagements or suggestions. And there's like, oh, if resistance hits you, if it's hard for you on this course, do this, and how to help themselves. So that's one way I use the experiences, is just sending these emails. And it's like, I love it that it's all in the one place and I don't need to use another like newsletter, a system or whatever to send those emails. It's really a relief for me. Then if
Right, so I'm
someone
going to,
Yep.
yeah, so I'm gonna just
Interrupt
raise
me.
my hand here
Sure.
because we only get about 2 or 3 more minutes before
Sure.
we're gonna have to pass the mic. It's amazing how fast
Perfect.
20 minutes goes. I love, you've been very liberal in your praise for what did. Have you found that 1 or 2 of the techniques that you've used have been more effective in either bringing students in or engaging them or retaining them? I mean, we've seen some of the actions that you've asked them take. You've offered them bonuses in order to get on a live Zoom. You've got very complete experience pieces in the engine. Is there 1 or 2 that are your favorites that have been really effective? Or I'll leave it right there. What do you think?
I think that like the most engagement is from the forum. It's like they comment on each other. I didn't have many people go through there. It's like close to 30 people because it turns out just running ads to the course is not a good marketing strategy. So that's why there were not like hundreds and hundreds of people going through it. But the people that went through it, they were engaging through the forum the most. And I could see that even though all these things are employed, not everyone is as committed as some. And so there's this percentage of people that really go all in and do everything 100%. And there are people who like actually bought it. And like many course creators say, like, nothing makes them go through it. And it's just, that's how it is. So it's really interesting to observe how people get engaged. But I think that the community aspect was the best for me. And I was thinking that people will be more wanting to get a live help from me and Q&A and ability to ask questions and get help. But they were not like, they watched the content and stuff, but they didn't even went to 100%. And I interacted with some of them, and they were like, yeah, I'm watching, I'm doing it, I'm using it for myself, it helps, it's amazing. And they like did not push all the actions and stuff to get it completed. So I realized it wasn't as good as I initially thought it would be to incentivize them to move forward.
Any other final questions for Ritus before we switch over to George? Oh, I think there's somebody in the message here. Oh,
Yeah.
just a kudos for you from Araceli. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I agree. I want to give you a super huge thumbs up for your very, very complete implementation. So often we have people come and they've used a portion of it. It seems like you've used almost every single piece of the XP platform, which is fantastic. I'll ask one
if
final
anyone
question, right?
wants
Is
to,
there anything that
I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. I was wondering if is there, you said that you were getting some feedback. Is there a way that you're going to iterate? Is there a way you're going to change your course to, maybe for version, 1.5 or 2.0?
As far as the course content goes, it's like an intro course. So I feel like it's like content complete. I might experiment more with like sales page, but my biggest focus now is on going and expanding my audience. So that's the key point. And I'm gonna build an evergreen course, and I have the whole like strategy and everything, how to go from zero to everything. So I'm gonna be building a much bigger course, because this is like a mini thing. It's like 2 hours plus bonus. It's like 3.5 maybe hours of content, and it only tackles one particular subject, but I'll just be creating like a longer, like 3-month thing, which I'll also run on Xperiencify. And then when I have through that, we'll be using a different like approach to marketing and audience. And then I hope more people also will come here, and then we'll see if we need to iterate. But right now, it's not something that I'm actively pursuing. I don't hear you. You muted yourself formally.
Darn it. I'm the classic Zoom mistake. Yes, I just wanted to say thank you so much for sharing. It was a super complete share. And I love seeing how you've used the entirety of the platform. And I'm really excited to, hear back from you in a little while about how you've iterated and how you're bringing more people into it. So thank you so much.
And if anyone has a need to connect WordPress with the Xperiencify, just shoot me a DM, a message, whatever, contact with me. I'll share whatever I figured out, and maybe it will be useful for you. Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you
Thanks
so much for
that
this.
offer. That's amazing.
Okay. Thank you.
Fantastic. If you wouldn't mind stopping your screen sharing, we're going to give the microphone over to George, who you're currently muted. George, just want to oh, now you're not.
There I am.
Fantastic. You're ready to go. So George, over to you. I'm excited to hear what you have to present.
Okay, well, I'm going to kind of follow Brenda's outline she gave me here. We're going to talk a little bit about the course was designed for, it's an expiring mini course. It was designed for a group of female professionals and entrepreneurs. My wife, Dr. Rosanna, is a retired chiropractic physician. She retired about 20 years ago and started concentrating and becoming an energy psychologist. A couple of years ago, she joined this association here in Las Cruces of professional women. And after a while of attending their meetings, because periodically people would get up and present, they got to talking about how many of them had imposter syndrome. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's that feeling of I'm not competent enough to do this. And a lot of people have it at various times in their life. So we decided to do an expiring mini course for these women. And what we did was, this was a no charge kind of thing. Let me get this here. I can get this up. Hang on. I've got to exit out of full screen for a moment here. So, can you see that?
Not yet.
Okay, so this is the ad that was sent out through email.
Oh, George, we cannot see your screen yet.
You do not see it. Oh, okay. Does that show up?
It does not.
Did not. No, I thought I had this all figured out. Any rate, let me get back here.
No worries. Take your time. We understand. This is the beauty of technology.
Yeah. So I see you full screen. Let me get back over to the gallery. Huh? Do you see that?
Unfortunately, no.
There's a green button in the toolbar of Zoom that says share.
Oh, yes. The one step I forgot.
Yes,
Hang on. There we are. Okay.
Aha. Great success.
Yeah. So if I go here, you see that? That sharing?
We only see your background, which is looks like, oh, now we do. Now we see imposter syndrome, but can you make that screen full screen now? Oh, you had it.
How about there?
we can.
You can see that okay?
Yes, we can see that.
Yes.
There you go. Now we got it. Great success. We did it.
All right, good. So this was sent out as an email to several hundred members of the association, all of them females. And we are offering this End Imposter Syndrome Now course. It's a mini course. It's expiring, no charge. And we got a lot of play on it. About 30 or 40 women signed up for it.
And while you're finding the next piece, what you just displayed to us, was that an email or was that a different web page or what was that? You're now muted, George.
Unmute. Okay.
Shazam, you're back.
Shazam. Okay. So if they responded, we send them the link for the enrollment page or the order form. Very simple. They did that.
Could I ask you about your order form? So I didn't hear your response to the very first thing that you showed us. Was that an email? Was that a website? What was the very first thing that you displayed?
The very first thing was an email.
Okay, so that was the email that you sent out. Okay,
Right.
great.
Well, the association sent it out to all their members.
And then if somebody clicked on the link, this is the landing page that they would come to.
Correct.
And did you find it helpful that the one piece about this that really interests me is that there's no picture on your enrollment, right? It's simply just a text description of it. Did you find that that was effective? Did you notice any difference about, not having a visual representation of your course?
Of this right here?
Well, that's the email that you sent out. But then on your landing page, you have no visual imagery that connects it to the email or anything like that.
No, this was just an ad in their newsletter that went out as an email to all the members of the association.
Sure, absolutely, totally understand.
Right.
So yeah, so I
So
was
it's
just
a
referring
fairly tight
to your
group of women.
landing page about
Yeah.
whether or not.
So then they would fill out the enrollment form that would get them to the course. We'd send them the thing. I don't want that right now. Where is Sorry, guys. Okay, let me just do it this way. Okay. So that would link them directly to the course. That was their sign up, and it would be sent the magic link. Here's the welcome page. Their mission, it was a 5-day expiring mini course, of course. The obligatory welcome email.
I'm Dr. Rosano.
Right?
And
Then I'd reiterate that they have 5 days to do that. Then they have some action items there. And then some action items to do right at the very beginning and to download the workbook.
So
And,
a question for you, most, the expiring course, expiring mini course template that we have
Mhm.
offers usually 3 days, right? 72 hours. Was
Yes.
there a particular reason, either psychologically, or was it just because of the content that you have that you chose 5 days, or you decided to extend it?
Just the content. I wanted to try to keep the lessons fairly short if possible and cover enough material to make it useful for them and lead up to using energy psychology, emotional freedom techniques, or tapping. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I can't wait to help you overcome your imposter syndrome.
Oh,
Holding-
somebody's checking out. Nice.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So I would also tell them, give them a little heads up here, that if they if they earned enough points, that they would get a surprise bonus. And that was a live 15-minute Zoom session with Dr. Rosanna to clarify, it was called a clarity call, to clarify anything that they were confused about on the course. And then they would do those. And then there were the module 1, there were 3 lessons in that. Okay, each lesson,
Person believes that they're incompetent or they're a fraud. It's a common problem for those who've already succeeded at something effectively treated with energy psychology.
One like that. There's a place for them to download the workbook. After they've done that, then they have their action things here. They've watched it, they get a point. I included a quiz after each lesson to make sure they were at least paying attention to the material, and set it up so that if they didn't answer the question correctly, it kept them there. And then their next steps was to do that. I have not used the forum yet, but we have used the comments section, and we got quite a bit of activity on that.
Nice. Can I pause you right there? Can I pause you right there? Because I'm going to guess that not everyone who is watching the showcase right now is familiar with using the comment block. And I'd love it, if anybody's on the call right now and you're not, you do not know how to use the comment block, please let me know in the chat there. But this is a part of our page builder. So in this particular case, this is our single training page. And what George did is he pulled in a comment block, and that allows people to comment just like you would in a forum. So that's great. This is one of the first times we've seen that used, and I'm really glad to see that you've got some great feedback there.
Yeah. I also did the chat bot, set up the chat bot so that if you have any questions, and I even peppered one in there just to give them an example. So far, no one's used it or even noticed it that I know of, but it's there, and it's I love it. It's a great little device there. So this tells you what the XP points are and why they're there. Right? Okay, then they go to lesson.
Fantastic, George. I have another question for you.
Sure.
It looks like the videos that you have for each of the trainings are fairly sophisticated. They look like they're, in terms of production, they're definitely above average production. Talk us through your decision behind going that extra step and, putting animations in or putting slides in and those kinds of things.
Oh, okay. I'll get to that. Can I get to that toward the end?
Of course. Sure. Absolutely.
It might surprise you to find out just how common imposter syndrome is. No matter what we've done, there comes a point.
Yeah, they're fairly good videos. Thank you. But anyway, they would, after they watched it, they clicked that, of course, and then there's another question for them to answer. If they do that, then they say, oh, all right, let's go on to the next step. And again, the comment section, quite a few comments on that. Lesson 3, and it just went on like that. What I've done here is the behind the scenes stuff here. Basic course information, of course, and this is the material that shows up on the order form, the text there. Payment options I left blank because it was a free course if they completed it. Course content, we got 2 modules. Each module has got 3 lessons in it. Right? And that's that. If I go into page template, here's the welcome page. And all I did was use Murray's template, which I agree with the previous guy. Those templates are wonderful. They were really helpful. So I just tweaked some stuff, deleted a few things on there, put that in there, popped in the video, and went it from there, right? Any questions on that? Nope, good. So the experience stuff I did was a lot of these, a couple of them were just part of the template. I just left them in there because I didn't want to spend a huge amount of time on this because it was a free course. We're just kind of giving it away to the members to get them interested in some of our other courses. And then Dr. Rosanna's private one-on-one sessions. Okay. So when they're added to the course, they get the obligatory welcome email, right? I went in after a few people made comments about the magic link. They thought that was a little hokey. I went in and just changed it. Well, this one doesn't, still shows up. Okay, I didn't change that one. Lesson 3, we don't use that one. When they complete the course, they get a little email saying, yay, yay, yay. Well done, yada, da, da. Four, 5 here. Once they complete the course, though, I mean, oh, that was, I'm sorry, that's when they complete the first training, they get an email thanking them, congratulating them. When they complete the course, then they get the congratulatory email. They also get a link to her other courses that are designed to complement that course, and then a Calendly link so that they can link in there to the 15-minute clarity call if they've completed the course. I also send them out a text message to remind them and also give them the link for the clarity call, Calendly, and kind of nudge them to check their email. I find that a lot of people do not check their emails. So I really, really appreciate the ability to send text messages out to them. Okay? And if they have completed the course and gotten all the points, gotten all the XPs, then they get an additional email giving them an additional 15 minutes to add to their clarity call. So they end up getting a half-hour session.
Which is great. That's a nice incentive.
It is, I think. Right.
Absolutely. Tatenda has a question for you in the chat there. We all heard you say that some of your learners didn't like the magic link, or was it they didn't like the term magic link, or they just didn't like the link, or
a couple object to it
because of the word magic?
Because of the energy psychology, they thought what it was a little, I don't know. Changed the emails that went out. That was on another course that followed this one, another expiring mini course.
Understood.
Actually, we've created about 5 of them now. We've released 2 of them. This one was the first one that went out. The second one is on rediscovering your sense of self-worth. It too is a 5-day expiring mini course. And then we've done one on the fear of flying, which I particularly like. And we've done a couple on the fear of public speaking and another one on fear of social media. A lot of these entrepreneurial females are afraid to get in front of a camera and do videos or they're promoting themselves. So we've developed a little course to help them get over that. Okay.
Wonderful.
Celebrations. This one was just when they get going here, they've completed the first one. Whoops, celebration. Whoop. Then once they've accumulated 40, I think it was 40 points, I gave them another little celebration. And then once they've completed the course, of course. That kind of stuff. Okay, so that's using the celebrations, the experience engine, tweaking the templates a little bit. I love the fact that the template, let me see if I can get that up. Where'd it go? Oh. Come on. There. Are you seeing that at all?
Yes, we are.
The master planning template?
Correct. We can see it.
You can see it, okay. For those of you that are not familiar with it, Murray did a great job of creating these templates. And if you just walk yourself through that, you've got your course created, which is basically what we did. We took that as the outline and then took that and, oops, went to his AI stuff
Mm-hmm.
and did the course content where it basically laid it out in really nice fashion and use that to create the script. After I created the script, let's see if I can get this over here. We did his template, we did the outline generator, use that to create the script, and then I took the script and just chunked it down into little chunks to put into PowerPoint slides. Then went through Canva and a couple other image resources and picked out images to go with the slide, with the context of the information. Then I exported all that from PowerPoint to make them PNG images, and then imported those into a video editing software. I used Camtasia and Final Cut Pro, and then just tweak it to make the final. Yeah, here's the PowerPoint slides. They just give them a little bit of text, export them into a video program and tweak it up.
Love it.
And make it into where we have, you know.
This is the problem with the natural genius. They might understand things almost instinctively, but they're not necessarily good at explaining how they got their answers. This also means the natural genius is often very frustrated when they come up against.
So, all right, so that's pretty much what I did.
George, thank you so much. This has been a fantastic walkthrough. I really appreciate it. I want to ask you the same question I asked Rightus earlier. Like, did you find one particular piece of your implementation more effective than others? For example, it looked like the fact that you put the comment block into your courses, that seemed like a really effective way to engage the learners. Were there other pieces that you found they either appreciated or they really liked a lot?
I got a lot of comments on the videos, on that course material itself. It was very, I tried to follow Murray's example, the way he does things, you know, keeps things interesting, a lot of changes, keeps changing up the images, the kind of be a little humorous at times if possible, and keep things going. So we did get a lot of positive comments on the course. We've had a number of people who took that course take the next course and are looking forward to succeeding courses. So yeah, we're working on it. I joined, I was in the first week when Murray first released Xperiencify. I had been waiting for it to come out. We were using, way back when we were using, what was it, ClickFunnels, and then we used to Kajabi. I was with Kajabi for a number of years.
Sure.
After participating in a couple of Marisa's programs, and they were using the Xperiencify kind of experience then. After that, I kept trying to figure out how in the hell can I do this in Kajabi? There was no way of doing it. And then Murray sent an email out saying, hey, we're releasing Xperiencify, all the bells and whistles. I joined that first week, and I've thoroughly enjoyed. It's just a wonderful program. And Murray and crew are doing a great job, I think. I love it.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, George. That's a wonderful endorsement. I really appreciate it. Folks, you know, we're coming close to the top of the hour. If you have any questions for Ritus or for George, now would be the time to throw it in the chat there. While you're thinking about that and while you're doing it, I want to thank everybody for coming today. And I want to remind you that if you find yourselves, having some questions about how either George or Ritus did anything today, you can reach out to them, or you can reach out to Brenda or myself, and we're happy to translate your question or communicate it to them. One of the things that I definitely would I think people have a lot of questions around are, one, the comment block in the Experiencify mini course, but also both of you seem to have great video presentations. Right, as you said that you took it from a live event, and then you chopped it up and you were able to put it into your course. And then George, your the step-by-step process that you used in order to create your videos was absolutely fantastic. George, could I ask you to end your screen sharing now while you're at it? Cool. And so walking us through your implementation, I was also really very happy and very grateful to see that, not only did you have learners come in, but you had learners comment, you had learners engage, you had learners interact, which is, a huge win for any course creator. And then, being able to iterate or take people into either the next course or the next version of your course is really powerful as well.
Thank you.
Fantastic. We're at the top of the hour now, and I want to make sure that we are sensitive to everybody's time, and that the fact that some people are just waking up, some people are getting their day started, some of us are winding down and it's dinner time, some of us are like, right, I'm not sure what you're going to do, buddy, if you're starting your day or you're going to sleep now. But thank you so much for both of you for coming and presenting for us, and thank you for everybody for coming. Just a reminder as well, we do, if you are not as tech savvy or want to be as tech savvy as George or Ritus, we do have those done for you course packages that are available to you. You just reach out to Brenda or myself and we'll get that to you. The link is in the chat that we put a little earlier. Also, come to our office hours and get your questions answered. Don't find yourself in that place where you get frustrated, because of friction or you can't figure something out. Come to those office hours, ask your question, use those spaces that are available, and we'll get you set in the right direction, or we'll help you figure out a solution, a workaround quickly. Brenda, anything that you want to add to close us out?
Nothing. It was just wonderful to hear these two creators. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you, Larry, for guiding this session.
Sure. Absolutely. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful day or evening, depending on which one you're at, and we'll see you all next time.